Welcome to the Google Cloud Update for the week of December 11th, 2025. I'm your host, and we've got a packed episode for you today. It's a huge week for artificial intelligence, with a ton of new models landing in Vertex AI's model garden, including new entries from DeepSeek and Mistral, plus some cool new video generation capabilities. We'll also dive into some major networking announcements, including a new preview for connecting to AWS and some great new monitoring dashboards for Cloud VPN. On the data front, we have updates for AlloyDB, Spanner, and a new preview for BigQuery that lets LLM agents get their hands dirty with your data. And of course, we'll cover updates across Kubernetes Engine, security, operations, and a whole lot more. So let's get into it. Kicking things off in the world of AI and machine learning, it's been a very busy week for Vertex AI. First, the model garden has some powerful new additions. DeepSeek V3.2, a state-of-the-art large language model from DeepSeek, is now available as a managed API. And if that's not enough, two new models from Mistral are also available, Mistral 3 and Mistral Large 3. It's great to see the model ecosystem on Vertex AI continue to expand with so many powerful options. But it's not just about language models. For you video creators, VO 3.1 now supports video extension, which is currently in preview. This lets you extend the length of your generated videos, which is a fantastic new capability. And for our AI hypercomputer users, a really useful feature is now generally available. You can now enable node health prediction in an AI-optimized GKE cluster. This helps the cluster avoid scheduling your critical training workloads on nodes that are likely to degrade within the next 5 hours, minimizing interruptions for those long-running jobs. Rounding out our AI updates, Gemini Enterprise has a couple of new preview features for admins. You can now share custom agents registered with Gemini Enterprise, whether they are agent-to-agent, agent development kit, or Dialogflow agents. You can also now add agents directly from the Google Cloud Marketplace that use the agent-to-agent protocol, making it even easier for your users to access powerful tools through the Gemini web app. Let's shift gears to data and analytics. Starting with BigQuery, a very interesting feature is now in preview. You can now use the BigQuery remote MCP server to enable LLM agents to perform a range of data-related tasks. This opens up some incredible possibilities for building autonomous agents that can query, analyze, and work with your data in BigQuery. Over in AlloyDB, there are several great updates. For those with demanding workloads, AlloyDB now supports the C4 machine series, powered by the 6th-generation Intel Xeon Granite Rapids processors. These instances are massive, scaling up to 288 vCPU and over 2,200 gigabytes of RAM. This feature is now generally available. Also, if you're using the AlloyDB Studio query editor, you can now use Gemini to help fix query errors. This is in preview and should be a real time saver. Finally, also in preview, is Query Plan Management. This feature helps ensure query plan stability and protects your database performance against regressions by letting you approve specific query execution plans. For our Spanner users, Data Boost has a new, more fine-grained quota. Instead of a single request consuming 1 unit of concurrency quota, a request is now split into thousandths of a unit, allowing a much greater number of concurrent requests to make progress. Also, the Spanner SysEye's oldest active queries table has been enhanced with new columns like client IP address, API client header, and transaction type, giving you deeper insights into your active queries right from the Query Insights page. And in the analytics visualization space, Looker Studio has some fantastic new features. For pro users, you can now share and schedule reports directly to Slack channels and users, and this is now generally available. You can also now schedule report delivery and alerts on an hourly basis. A small but very useful feature for everyone is the ability to configure tables to expand and show up to 2,000 rows when you download or schedule a report. And as always, a host of new partner connectors have been added to the gallery from Bionic, Windsor.ai, and Supermetrics, to name a few. Finally, for our data folks, Dataform now offers enhanced IAM permissions in preview. This gives you more granular control over resource creation and scheduling, and admins can enable private workspaces to restrict access. And in Dataproc, new subminor image versions are available, and the Dataproc ML library is now available by default in 2.3 milliliters images. Now for our Compute, Containers, and Developer Tools section. In Google Kubernetes Engine, new versions are available in the rapid, regular, and extended channels. As always, check the release notes for the specific versions and upgrade targets for your channel. More importantly, an issue from back in October where mount volume calls for network file system volumes might fail has now been fixed in the latest GKE versions. Additionally, this release includes new GKE versions that use updated container-optimized OS images, which incorporate a cumulative set of security fixes. In Cloud Build, there's a helpful change for those working with Java. The Maven artifacts field in your build config file now supports a new field called Deploy Folder. This lets you easily upload all Maven files within a specified folder to an artifacts registry repository. And for users of cloud workstations, the predefined images have been updated. They now include Node.js 24 and have dropped version 20. They also now include Eclipse Temurin JDK 21 and 25, while JDK 11 is no longer pre-installed. If you need these older versions, you'll need to customize your container images. Let's talk networking. There are some really big announcements here. First up, a feature that many have been waiting for is now in preview, Partner Cross-Cloud Interconnect for Amazon Web Services. This provides an on-demand, reliable, and SLA-protected way to establish transport between Google Cloud and AWS without having to manually set up all the networking components yourself. You can set it up on demand and scale it as needed. Next, Cloud VPN dashboards are now generally available. In the Google Cloud Console, you'll find predefined dashboards that give you a single view into your system health and tunnel performance, making it much easier to monitor your VPN connections. For users of the Network Intelligence Center, connectivity tests can now analyze configurations that use geolocation objects in your firewall policy rules. This helps you better validate your network paths when using location-based security. And for our media delivery customers, Media CDN now supports multi-part range requests, which is now generally available. This allows users to request multiple non-contiguous segments of a file in a single HTTP request, which can be great for performance. Moving on to observability and operations. A new feature is available for both cloud logging and cloud monitoring. You can now install and manage the Ops agent on your virtual machines using VM Extension Manager extension policies. This allows you to enforce agent versions and keep them up to date across your fleet, which is a huge management win. Specifically in cloud monitoring, the G-Cloud commands for managing alerting policies are now generally available, so you can script and automate your alerting setup. Also, you can now add a new widget to your dashboards that lets you directly manage the settings for a dashboard variable, making your dashboards more interactive. And for users of Chronicle, there are some handy updates to the query syntax. You can now use the N of syntax and the OR operator within the condition section of your query. This allows for more flexible and conditional logic, which can help simplify complex queries. Now for our security and identity segment. Security Command Center's risk engine has been enhanced. It now supports cloud build attack paths, with cloud build resources now included in the high-value resource set. This gives you a clearer picture of potential attack vectors related to your build and deployment pipelines. The risk engine also now uses the storage.restrict auth types organization policy constraint to determine if cloud storage buckets are reachable via signed URLs. In Cloud Armor, the CVE Canary rules have been updated with a new signature to help detect and mitigate CVE 2020-5555182, which is a remote code execution vulnerability. And finally, VPC Service Controls has expanded its support. It now includes preview stage support for 2 new integrations, Firebase App Hosting and App Design Center. And now for a rapid-fire round of other important updates from across Google Cloud. For our Oracle Database at Google Cloud customers, the service is expanding its footprint. The base database service is now available in the U.S. Central 1 region, the Exadata database service is now in São Paulo, and the Autonomous Database Service has added Sydney, Mumbai, and São Paulo to its list of supported regions. Additionally, you can now perform restore operations for autonomous databases directly through the Google Cloud Console. Google Cloud CCaaS, our contact center as a service platform, has released version 3.43. This release brings cloud logging for the service to general availability. It also introduces a really cool feature, a wait time virtual agent for calls. This allows a virtual agent to handle incoming calls, place them in a queue, and provide personalized interactive updates based on real-time events like estimated wait time and queue position. For those using service extensions, there is a new preview feature for dynamic forwarding, which helps you map tenants to endpoints programmatically without needing to update your URL maps. And in VMware Engine, you can now have private clouds with mixed node families, meaning you can have both V1 and V2 nodes in the same private cloud, though each cluster must still contain nodes of the same type. That was a lot. And that's a wrap for this week's Google Cloud Update. From the explosion of new models in Vertex AI to the exciting new Partner Cross-Cloud Interconnect for AWS and the powerful new Ops Agent Management policies, there is a ton to explore. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another dose of Google Cloud news.